Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome all of you for today's session. We will start with small prayers. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पाञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय श्री श्री गौरनिताई की जय श्री 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 जगन्नाथ बलराम सुभद्रा मैया की जय जगत गुरु पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता जय गीता की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय Thank you so much everyone for joining today's session. You all can hear me well, right? You can see the screen as well. Can someone confirm?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So anybody would like to give a recap of yesterday's session? So we have completed chapter 7 yesterday. Anybody would like to give it a try? So maybe one or two sentences are also fine. All right. So let me recap the seventh chapter yesterday. So we talked about the acronym that we discussed is HEAD. So Krishna says he is the source of everything, both the material and the spiritual worlds. Although this material world is created by his energy and it is controlled by three modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. These are called as trigunas. And Krishna is not affected by them, but all other living entities are controlled by these three modes. But there is an exception. That exception is whoever is fully surrendered to Krishna, these modes will not be affected by them. So we will see in detail today's chapter also what are those three modes and how do they act on us. And Krishna also mentioned about he is the essence of everything. He said, I am the taste in water, I am the heat in fire, the light of the sun and the moon, and the sound in the sky, the ability in people, and the nice smell of the earth. When it rains, there is such a good fragrance coming from earth, right? So that smell of earth is also Krishna. And the intelligence in the wise, and also the life in all living beings. And Krishna also explained about there are four kinds of people who come to him. Those are those in distress, those who want money. There is a resound. If someone is not speaking, probably you can all go on mute. Okay, I've muted everybody. If anybody wants to talk any question, you can raise your hand or unmute yourself and talk. Okay, Krishna also talked about four kinds of people who do not surrender unto him, and four kinds of people who surrender unto him. So accept or reject. I think we discussed about it yesterday. Who accepts Krishna? Who rejects Krishna? So there is a quiz question that was not right from everybody. Is the same question. So whoever is, there are four kinds of people who come to him. Four kinds of people who do not come to him. Who come to him are Ardho, Ardhardi, Jignasu, Gnani. So Ardho means who are in distress, and Ardhardi who wants money. Ardha is money, right? Who wants money, and Jignasu who are curious to learn about Krishna and what is the spiritual world, what is this material world, and who am I. So those curiosity is there with some of the people. Those also will be going to Krishna, and those who are gyanis, who are truly wise people, they also approach Krishna. There are also four types of people who do not surrender to Krishna. They are too proud, attached, or envious of Krishna. So these people are under Krishna's temporary illusory energy, which is called Maya, and they cannot understand him because of the Maya. So, like we discussed about a mirror, we have dust on the mirror, will not be able to see ourselves, right? So, that dust on the mirror is called Maya. But those who are pious and sincere souls become ready to take up the devotional service. So, that is one thing that we discussed about devotional service. And among them, the ones who realize that Krishna is the ultimate cause of everything, and they also serve him with love and determination, and they are very special and dear to Krishna, and they attain Krishna. So, who have that knowledge, inclination towards Krishna, who approaches Krishna, they will serve him with love and determination, and they are very special to Krishna, and they'll also be reaching to Krishna at the end. That means they go to spiritual planets, Vaikuntha planets, and enjoy with Krishna. And that is seventh chapter. And today we are talking about chapter eight, attaining the supreme, which is the second chapter in Bhakti Yoga. So Arjuna, after hearing about Krishna's supreme position, so Krishna talked about his material, spiritual energies and everything, right? So after hearing from Krishna, naturally becomes curious and asks certain questions. What happens at the time of death, and how can a person reach Krishna at the end of life, etc. So there are some eight questions that he asks in this chapter. What is death, and how can one remember Krishna at the time of death? And how can they go to Vaikuntha planets, etc. But the connection between seventh and eighth chapters is seventh chapter teaches us who Krishna is and why he should be remembered. So eighth chapter explains how to remember and at the crucial
Mhm.
moment of death and the results of doing so. That means how to remember Krishna at the end of the life, and what happens if you remember Krishna at the end of the life. In simple words, chapter 7 tells us whom to remember, chapter 8 tells us when and how to remember Krishna. So let's begin into eighth chapter. So eighth chapter we have four topics. Arjuna had certain questions, doubts. 8.1 to 8.4 he asks the questions, and also asks about the examination. So death is an examination, life is a preparation. So Arjuna asks that question also. Krishna explains from 8.5 to 8.8. And who will attain the supreme? Who will attain Krishna? Who will go to Vaikuntha planets at the end of the life? Krishna explains from 8.9 to 8.22. And he also discusses about devotional service. So we will discuss all of those things in today's session. And let us start with devotion, the doubts asked by Arjuna. Arjuna is confused now. So every time Arjuna is confused, he asks questions and he gets clarifications from Krishna. So now that he also has certain questions, he is asking Krishna. He's been listening to Krishna about his deep teachings, and now he wants some clarity on certain things. So just like we may pause a spiritual lecture and ask, okay, wait, what exactly does that word mean? And we think about it, and we also refer certain other websites or ask somebody who knows about it, etc. Right? So Arjuna too raises eight key questions in this chapter. From 8.1 to 8.2, the first two shlokas, Arjuna's questions are asked. They are not just for academic curiosity. He wants to know how to apply this knowledge. Yesterday we discussed about gnana, vijnana, you remember, right? Gnana is just knowledge. Vijnana is that application of that knowledge and getting the realization of knowledge, right? So that is vijnana. So now he has knowledge. He wants to understand clearly how to apply that knowledge at the time of death. So that is when it really matters, right? So let's go through each question. The first question is, what is Brahman? Brahman means the eternal spiritual reality. So the energy that never dies. It's not material, right? It's like asking what is the truth that exists beyond the body, beyond the mind. So material body and material mind, but both of them are material. But what is the truth that exists beyond the body is the question. So Brahman is one of the three features of Supreme Lord Krishna. So Supreme Lord Krishna has three features. We also discussed about it in second chapter. First feature is Brahman, second feature is Paramatma, third feature is Bhagavan. So what is Brahman? Brahman is an impersonal light or energy. There is a effulgence around Krishna's body is called Brahman. So that light effulgence is called Brahman. And when Krishna was a child, when he was playing in Vrindavan with Balram and other Gopas, when they were playing hide and seek, he was always caught because his body has that effulgence. He shines like a light. Wherever he goes, he will be caught. So that impersonal light or energy is called Brahman. But Mayavadi philosophers, they think that that light is called God, and they want to merge into that light. But they don't understand Krishna has personal form. And there is another feature called Paramatma. Paramatma is the super soul in everybody's heart. That is another feature. And yogis meditate on Paramatma feature, which is a partial feature of Krishna. And the third thing is Bhagavan, Krishna himself, the personal form of the God. So these are the three features. So Brahman is an impersonal light or energy coming from Krishna himself. For example, I think we can also, this may not be relatable to us, right? I'll tell you a story. The frog in the well. Once upon a time, there was a frog who lived in a small well. And he was born there, raised there, and had never seen anything beyond the well. He thought that the well was the biggest and only world because he didn't go anywhere outside of the well. One day, due to floods, a sea frog came from an ocean and jumped into the well. So the well frog asked, "Where are you from?" The sea frog said, "I am from a vast ocean which is very big." So then the well frog was very curious, and he was thinking this well is very big and there is nothing beyond this well, and he also thinks that there is no other well which can be as big as the well that he is in. So he is concerned and he asked, "Is your ocean twice the size of the well?" The sea frog laughed because the well is not comparable with ocean, right? So sea frog laughed and said, twice, it is million times bigger, not twice. But still this frog is not able to relate well. It keeps on asking, is it four times bigger, is it 10 times bigger? The well frog keeps on asking this question because he could not understand it. No matter hard he tried to explain, the well frog did not understand because he could never imagine the actual size of a ocean because he had never seen it. His understanding was limited by his experience because he never experienced it. So we are just like that frog in the well. Our knowledge is also based on only on material experiences, what we see, hear, or read in this limited world. So when we hear about Krishna, who is unlimited, who is eternal, when we talk about spiritual planets, we try to compare him to material things. Oh, maybe he is like a powerful human, maybe just another Devi Devata kind, or maybe just a force, like Mayavadi philosophers think. It is just an energy, we will merge into the energy, etc., right? So but Krishna is beyond our imaginations. He says in Bhagavad Gita, "I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds." Yesterday we discussed about it. And unless we approach Krishna with humility and through bhakti, we can never understand him. Just like the well frog has to come out of the well to see the ocean, we must also come out of our limited material thinking and accept Krishna's spiritual knowledge, which is coming from Krishna himself, and disciplic succession, the parampara system that we discussed, right? So that's how we will be able to understand and correlate well only through bhakti. If Because if you go to a 3D picture, right? You will not be able to see from your material eyes, naked eyes. You need to have 3D glasses to see that picture. So even in the material world, you are not able to see everything. And if you have to understand the spiritual world, which you haven't seen, experienced, maybe we had experience, but we forgot about it, and we will not be able to correlate. And this happens only through bhakti. That's the reason why you should have faith, and then only you'll be able to understand. So that was the first question. And what is second question? Second question is Adhyatma. Adhyatma means the individual soul, you and me, the real person inside this body. If I say this is my hand, clearly I am not the hand, right? So the I that owns the hand is the Adhyatma. The spirit soul is called Adhyatma. And what is karma? Karma means action, but more specifically, action according to the laws of God. For example, cooking prasadam is karma. Offering it to Krishna makes it karma yoga. But cooking just for enjoyment without offering it binds us in material karma. So the best karma is devotional service, actions done for Krishna's pleasure, but not for our own pleasure. So if you work in a company and behave badly, they transfer or they demote you, right? So in life also, if you act selfishly or sinfully, nature gives us a lower birth. So whatever birth that we have taken this lifetime or next lifetime, it is all based upon our karma and desires. So but when we serve Krishna, we break all those karma, positive karma, negative karma. We discussed in Karma Yoga third chapter already. So devotional service is the best karma because it brings you no bad reaction, and it also connects you to the spiritual world, and it connects you to Krishna. And fourth question is Adhibhuta. Adhibhuta refers to material elements, the temporary, ever changing world we see, right? For example, our house, our body, maybe our smartphone. These are all called Adhibhuta because they decay. They are not permanent, they are temporary. So they are all made up of five gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So example, just like a sand castle on the beach, they get washed away, right? Our material attachments also eventually fade. The wise person, uh, they don't want to invest in all the material things. They invest in Krishna, they invest in devotional service. It doesn't mean that you will stop everything, but you can do everything, but you spiritualize all your actions by keeping Krishna in the center. The next question is, what is Adi Daiva? Adi Daiva means the demigods, the Devi Devatas, who are the controlling forces of nature. For example, sun god, Surya, he gives us light, and Indra, who gives us rain, and Vayu, who controls the wind. But they all act under Krishna's direction. They are not independent. Just like government officials follow the highest authority, right? For example, Prime Minister's orders. So we respect demigods but worship Krishna. And who is Adi Yagna? Adi Yagna means Lord of Sacrifice. Lord of Sacrifice is Krishna himself. So Krishna is the Adi Yagna. This means Krishna is the one who accepts all the sacrifices. Even if we offer him a leaf or water with devotion, he accepts. Even if we offer a simple tulsi leaf, he will accept if it is done with devotion. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is also Yagna, Sankirtana Yagna. Krishna accepts it from the heart. So Krishna is the Adi Yagna, both the receiver and the maintainer of our spiritual offerings. Any offerings that we do with bhakti, those become spiritual offerings. So Krishna accepts everything. And the seventh question is, where does he reside? Where does Krishna reside? Krishna says, I reside in the heart of every living being as the super soul, Paramatma. So even when we forget him, he is guiding us like GPS from within. So waiting for us to reconnect. Just like Wi-Fi is always around, but we have to connect to it, right? The same way Krishna is always within us, but we must tune ourselves through bhakti in order to connect to Krishna. So that is something that we need to understand. And the last question is, how can one remember Krishna at the time of death? This is the most important question. Krishna says, whatever state of being one remembers at death, that state they will attain. If we remember Krishna at death, we will go to Krishna. But if we remember, for example, if you have a pet dog, if you remember your pet dog during the time of death, you will take a dog's body in the next life. We can take some example from Bhagavatam, the Bharat Maharaj story. So there lived a great king called Bharat Maharaj in the past, and he was not an ordinary king. So until Parikshit Maharaj, until the age of Kali started, Parikshit Maharaj and his son Janamejaya, until that time there was only one king for the entire earth. So Bharat Maharaj was also one among them. He was ancestor of we all call this as Bharata Varsha, Bharata Khanda, right? So that name is coming from Bharat Maharaj only. So he was not an ordinary king. He ruled the entire earth and was very powerful. wealthy, and respected. But he was also a devotee of Lord, very spiritually advanced, spiritually inclined person. At the right time in the life, he gave up everything. Even though he has every opulence, he has a great kingdom, great family, great treasure within his kingdom, everything is going well, but still he wanted to retire his life in the right time. He gave up everything, his kingdom, family, wealth, and went to the forest to fully focus on Krishna and spiritual life. In the ancient days, they used to do sannyas ashrama, right? The vanaprastha, last stage of the life, they dedicate their entire time for God. So that was the ashrama that he went into in the right time. So he lived a peaceful, simple life near one river, and he spends all the time chanting and worshipping Krishna. So then what happened? Then something happened one day. Bharat Maharaj saw a pregnant deer come near to that river where he's staying. The deer came to drink water. Suddenly, a lion roared in the distance. So the lion was coming and trying to attack the deer. Out of fear, the deer jumped and gave birth to a baby in the middle. And due to that jumping and that fear, the deer dies and the baby is left alone. So Bharat Maharaj heart melted, seeing that helpless baby deer.
వర్షము
So
బండి
out of
ఎవడో రేడ్ చేసి
compassion,
నడిపిస్తుండు ఫుల్ ఇట్లా సౌండ్ ఎట్లా వచ్చింది.
okay. Suddenly, that baby deer is left alone. So Bharat Maharaj was very compassionate about that baby deer, and he began to take care of that little deer. So day by day, his attachment to the deer grew. He began spending more time with the deer than with his sadhana. He came there for spiritual sadhana, right? Because he wanted to spend his rest of his life in spiritual sadhana and go back to Godhead. That was his purpose. But he forgot that purpose. He was very much attached to that baby deer. He started worrying about the deer all the time. Did the deer eat, or did the deer drink water? Where is she? Is it safe or not? So he was thinking all the time about the deer, and slowly his devotional focus is also weakened. So even at the time of the death, the mind was absorbed in thinking about the deer. Such a great devotee, and at the time of death, instead of remembering Krishna, he was remembering the deer. So what happened next? Because he remembered the deer at the time of death, he took birth as a deer in his next life. But due to his past spiritual practice, because he has done a lot of spiritual practice in his previous lives, he remembered everything from his past life, even as a deer. But it is not possible for everybody. But because he has done a lot of practice, lot of spiritual practice, remember we discussed about it. If somebody does some spiritual practice in this life, he will, suppose they have done 30 percentage of spiritual practice this life, they will start from 31% in the next life. But materially it is not true. The same way, because of his previous spiritual life, Bharat Maharaj remembered everything from his past life, even as a deer. He cannot speak, but he understands everything. He knows everything. Why did he take the deer birth and things like that? So, as a deer, he stayed near ashramas. So, he doesn't want to get distracted with material people. So, he wanted to go to the ashramas. He always stayed near ashramas, sadhus, and holy places, and he was just waiting for the for that particular life to end and get a new life as a human being. So in his next life, he was born again as a Jadabharata. In a Brahmin family, he has taken birth, but this time he was extremely careful. He acted like a dull person. He didn't talk much. He didn't get involved in worldly things, and he doesn't want to get distracted again, like he has done as a Bharat Maharaj. So he was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness inside, but he shows himself as a Jadabharata. He doesn't know anything kind. So in that life, he perfected his devotion and ultimately went back to Vaikuntha planets. So this example shows us clearly at the time of death, whatever you remember, you will become that life. That's the reason why everybody who is in deathbed is asked to remember Narayana. So they will make them chant Narayana's name, and they also put Tulsi leaf at the end of the life, etc. Right? That is the reason. So even great devotees can fall down if they are not careful about material attachments. So compassion is good, but attachment can distract us from the real goal. So he could have saved the deer, and he could have kept it aside, and he could have continued his sadhana, but he was very much attached. Instead of very much attachment, he could have done whatever is needed and he could have practiced sadhana. But that is the most important thing that we need to remember. Attachment and Maya can attack us anywhere. From compassion also Maya can attack. So for Bharat Maharaj, Maya attacked through compassion because he doesn't have any bad qualities. He has a good quality called compassion. So Maya attacked him with good quality. So we need to be very careful on that. So we must train the mind every day to think about Krishna. So maybe we might think, okay, at the end of death, okay, I will utter Narayana and then I'll go to spiritual planet. It will not happen. So why it will not happen, we will also discuss in the next sections of this chapter. So we also need to think about, do I know who am I really? That is Adhyatma. And am I living to serve Krishna? Am I doing the karma in a way that it helps me to go to Vaikunta? Or am I preparing to remember Krishna at the end? This is what we need to ask about. So these are the questions asked by Arjuna. What is Brahman? The Brahman is an eternal soul. And what is Adhyatma? The soul's nature to serve Krishna. And what is karma? Actions that cause birth and rebirth. That is karma, which binds you in material world. And what is adibhuta? Temporary material nature. The buildings, the land, the body, everything. So what is Adidaiva? Adidaiva is the controllers who work under Krishna, the Devi Devatas, demigods. And who is Adi Yagna? Krishna himself, the Lord of all sacrifice. And how to remember Krishna? Practice should be daily, not at the end of the life. It will not happen. So life is a preparation and death is an examination. We will see why is it told like that. If you remember me at the time of death, you will come to me. That is guaranteed, is what Krishna mentioned. So there is no doubt. There is no maybe other requirement and anything of that kind. So we will definitely go to Krishna's. We will reach Krishna and we will go to Vaikunta planets. And so we will move on. So Krishna says in 8.5, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Anybody wants to read the translation?
And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt.
Yeah, Krishna himself is saying, whoever remembers at the end of his life, whoever remembers me alone and quits the body, they will definitely attains my nature. That means they will attain to, they will go to Krishna's abode, Vaikuntha Lokas. That's what is told by Krishna himself in 8.5. And life is a preparation, death is an examination. So we will see how is it, how it relates to our case. That's a fact. Krishna has already told us in 8.5. If you remember me at the time of death, you come to me, there is no doubt. So life is like our study time to prepare our consciousness. But here is the twist. So unlike school or college exams, the final exams dates will be announced, right? But death doesn't have a fixed schedule, doesn't come with reminders, and doesn't give you time to revise. So whatever you have prepared, usually for all physical examinations, we will get a time for revision. But this examination of death, you will not have time for revision also. It's a surprise test always. You don't know if it's going to happen next year, next week, tomorrow, we don't know. So the Gita's message is very clear: be ready at all times. It's not that it is not scaring you, but it is always a surprise test. Like for example, there are surprise tests being conducted in schools also, right? But those are not final examinations. A teacher walks into the class and says, okay, today is surprise test, take out your pens, and if you have been attentive in class and reviewing your notes daily, then you will pass easily. But if you thought I'll study later, then you will be panicked and you will fail in that exam. So this is exactly like life. Death doesn't warn us; it arrives suddenly. So Srila Prabhupada also gives us a clear lifestyle, how to be prepared. So he says chant Hare Krishna daily, follow the regulative principles, and keep Krishna in the middle. Make all your activities spiritualized, and read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and stay in good association. So by doing all this, we keep our consciousness Krishna centered. So whenever the exam comes, we are ready. So don't wait for the exam date. Prepare now. Live every day as if it could be the last. Not out of fear. This is not for scaring or anything, but out of faith and purpose. So let's take the shelter of Krishna and pass this exam, not with panic, but with peace and loving remembrance of Krishna. So, when and how to prepare this exam? So, how naturally, the next question is, right? When should I start preparing? So, and the answer is crystal clear. Start now, not tomorrow, not next week. It is right now. Krishna says, think of me always and do your duty. And Krishna doesn't say, think of me later in your life. At the end of your life, you think of me. Krishna is saying himself, you think of me always. You do your duty. Then you will reach me. So, how to prepare? Krishna gives the full method in 8.7 and 8.8. Krishna says, Abhyasa, practice, sadhana. You have to practice from the beginning. It's not like I will do this practice at the end of my life, it will not work. So, you have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. Start with one mala, 108 beats it has, and you have to just chant for every beat. You have to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you chant this mantra 108 times, it becomes one round. So like that, you have to do as many rounds as you can. 16 is the minimum that Srila Prabhupada said, but you don't need to worry if you're not doing 16. But start with one mala. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, and every day you can spend 10 minutes for yourself, right? So that's what you need to do. And read Bhagavad Gita. Gita is not just a book, right? It is direct instructions from Krishna. So reading it daily reminds us who we are and what we want to do, what we should do, what we must do, and what is the purpose of life, etc. Right? And how to deal with life. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, some people may think, okay, I will not have any miseries. It's not like that. But life will have ups and downs. That is quite common. But what will change after reading Bhagavad Gita is the way that you lead the life will definitely change. And do some service, maybe go to temple once in a week. So these are all doable things only, right? There's nothing that you cannot do. And remember Krishna always. Krishna also told, how can we remember? He's the taste of water. When you're thirsty and you drink water, that quenching thirst is Krishna, that quenching taste is Krishna. And intelligence of intelligence in intelligent people is Krishna. And somebody has ability, strong people, that strongness is also Krishna. That power is Krishna. So you can remember in everyday life, when you see sun and moon, you remember Krishna. The sunlight is coming because Krishna is behind, and moon, the coolness from the moon is also coming because Krishna is behind. So we need to think about Krishna in such a way in everything that we do, everything that we see. Just remember that Krishna is behind everything. And how do you attain the supreme? So there are so many ways to attain supreme, to attain the supreme lord, or to go back to Vaikuntha planets. So far in this chapter, Krishna explained how to prepare for the moment of death. And now from 8.9 to 8.22, Krishna teaches us how to reach the supreme destination, his own eternal abode, which is Vaikuntha planets. So there are three main topics in these verses. Let us explore one by one. So to reach supreme destination, there are several paths. One of the valid path is Ashtanga Yoga. Krishna described as Ashtanga Yoga in previous chapters also. Krishna describes how advanced yogis meditate on him using Ashtanga system. They control their senses and mind, sit in a sacred place, focus on the form of the Lord, and chant Omkara, and leave their body at the right time. They wait for Uttarayana, they see if it is morning, auspicious time or inauspicious time, because they can control their death also. They have that control of when they can leave the body. That full control they will practice throughout their lives, right? So that is Ashtanga Yoga. But Krishna also makes it clear this method is very difficult. and many people are rarely successful, especially in Kali Yuga. It is highly impossible because in today's busy and distracted life, sitting in one room itself is difficult. So forget about sitting in a cave or forest to control the breath and mind is almost impossible in Kali Yuga. And the next path is Bhakti Yoga. So this is the sure path. So Krishna is giving all the options. These are the ways that you can take, but he is recommending what is the best way, and he is giving that free will to us. Okay, you take any path. These are the paths that free will is given to you by Krishna. So he's not compelling, okay, you should do only Bhakti Yoga, but he's recommending this is the safest path, this is the sure path, and this is also another path that you have, and this is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. These are all the paths in reaching Krishna. But whatever yoga you go, for example, if you are doing Karma Yoga, you will have to reach to Bhakti Yoga only at the end, because we have seen the yoga ladder also, right? But Ashtanga Yoga, there is a possibility that they will attain supreme, but they will attain Brahma Jyoti. So they will not go to Vaikuntha planets, but they will be merged into the effulgence of Krishna. So Bhakti Yoga is the sure path, is Krishna saying. Krishna says this is the shortcut. If you can constantly think of me without deviation, I am easy to attain, is what Krishna says. This is known as devotional service. It is very simple but yet powerful, and it is also doable for everyone. Men can do, women can do, young, old, even householders, everybody can do. How you will do? You will just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and offer everything, food to Krishna, and keep Krishna in the middle. Don't get attached, too much attached to the things. So that's what we need to understand. And he also compares the material and spiritual worlds, from 17 to 22. So material world is full of miseries. It has birth, death, suffering, everything, right? And also temporary. Material world is temporary. So everything in material world which is temporary. In Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, from Brahma Sloka, Satyaloka until Patala Loka. Everything is temporary, but the lifespan may be different from each lokas. For example, if you take Brahma's life, it is 311 trillion years. Uh, and that also ends in one day. And we cannot even imagine being on earth, how Brahma's life is that long. And spiritual world is never destroyed. It has no birth, no death. It is full of knowledge and bliss. So that is a clear difference. Material world is full of miseries. That's why it is called Kunta. And Vaikunta is the opposite. There is no misery, no suffering. There is no birth, death, old age, and disease. And material world is temporary. Spiritual world is permanent, which is full of happiness. So Krishna says in 8.21 that which is never destroyed, that supreme destination is mine. So my destination is never destroyed. He's talking about the spiritual planets. Once you go there, you will never come back to this material world. So once you do bhakti, you go to Vaikuntha planets, and there is no anxiety, no pain there, and you will live eternally in loving exchange. The loving exchanges between Krishna and you will happen. So in summary, Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult path, not practical for this age. And Bhakti Yoga is easy, and anybody can do. Just think of Krishna always. And material versus spiritual world differences are material is temporary, and Krishna's world, spiritual world, is eternal and blissful. So Krishna is giving us options, but also showing what works best in Kali Yuga. The Bhakti Yoga is the best in Kali Yuga, and he says, "My gates are always open. You just chant my names and serve me, and you will reach me." And Ashtanga Yoga, they do a lot of things, right? They practice Shat Chakra Yoga. So they control the life air from the lower chakra to Agna Chakra. That is described in 8.10. And they also chant Omkara, 8.11. And they renounce all sense gratification, especially sex life. It is explained from 11 to 12. And they fix the mind on heart. And who is there in the heart?
Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna.
Paramatma, yeah. Krishna is a super soul, Paramatma. So Krishna talks about Bhakti Yoga. This is the real shortcut to reach Krishna, and anyone can do it. You can be a student, homemaker, doctor, driver. No background is required. Whether you are rich or poor, man or woman, old or young, anybody can do Krishna. Krishna accepts your devotion only, so not the other material qualifications. Even a child who chants Hare Krishna with loving devotion, he is also known to be practicing Bhakti Yoga. Even a small 2-year-old child, 5-year-old child, anybody with love and devotion chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they also are practicing Bhakti Yoga. Krishna accepts that devotion. So no need for difficult renunciation like Ashtanga Yoga. You don't need to leave your home, your family, etc. You just have to add Krishna into your life by chanting his names, reading Bhagavad Gita, offer food, and keep everything Krishna in center for everything. So why do we do this? Bhakti purifies the heart automatically. Krishna says, even if my devotee commits a mistake, because he is determined in devotion, he will become pure very soon. Just like fire purifies everything, right? It touches. Bhakti burns away past sins and also bad habits. For example, if I have a bad habit, I want to get rid of it. I have trouble in coming out of that bad habit. There is a lot of struggle also. And if you take it to Bhakti, all your bad habits will automatically will go away. You don't need to work on your bad habits. So those are all byproducts of your Bhakti. You just have to do your Bhakti devotional service, then everything else will fall in place automatically. And we will also see Krishna says Bhakti versus other processes. So Krishna says, even if my devotee commits a mistake, they will all go away, right? So now Krishna explains why Bhakti Yoga is the highest and the most easiest way for Kali Yuga people. So Bhakti brings peace. So when we serve Krishna with love, the mind becomes very calm, peaceful. So there is no competition, no ego. You will not even worry about why others are going very successful in life. I am not successful. There will not be any competition if you do bhakti, and you will not be having any ego. There will not be any false ego of identifying yourself as body. If somebody respects you, do not respect you, you will not worry about it much because you are focusing more on Krishna and that will not hurt you. So just connecting with the with Krishna will help you in such a way. And otherwise karma leads to tension, right? Because you are attached to the results. Okay, I'm doing this, I'm expecting this result, whether I get that result or not. If I get that result, what happens next? If I don't get that result, how will I stay? What else I can do? So that continuous tension will be going on in your mind. So now if you are connecting with Krishna, you will not have that. So and karma leads to that tension, and gnana leads to knowledge. Samira Mataji, I think you are right. It is very difficult, but it doesn't happen overnight. We need to do practice. Sadhana makes you perfect. You just have to take that one step. If you put forward one step and Krishna come forward 100,000 steps. So you just have to start and do sadhana. Sincere devotion is what Krishna says. And when you start practicing, you will definitely see the change. And yoga leads to control. Ashtanga yoga, you have to have a lot of control. Jnana yoga will give you a lot of pride because you have a lot of knowledge, and karma yoga gives you a lot of pressure, tension. But bhakti yoga leads to peace and joy because it is based on love and logic. So that's what Krishna is comparing bhakti yoga with other processes. And bhakti cannot be checked, like we discussed about it, right? It is not limited by age, gender, caste, wealth, whether you are a Indian, foreigner. So it doesn't matter. Even a child or elderly person or anybody who can practice bhakti and reach Krishna. Like if you remember, Prahlad Maharaj was only 5 years old. He was the greatest devotee. He was the topmost devotee. He was just 5 years old, but Krishna accepted him. So bhakti can be performed by anyone. You don't need a degree. You don't need to do a lot of rituals, and you don't need to know secret mantras. You can do bhakti by simply chanting Hare Krishna, offering food to Krishna, and reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and serving devotees, going to temples. That's it. And bhakti liberates us. Krishna also says the spiritual world is my supreme abode, and those who reach it through bhakti never return. So that we discussed about it, right? Because the past karmas that we have done, all the sinful reactions of the past karmas, they will be burnt in the fire of bhakti. And Krishna also says Bhakti purchases Krishna. This is the most beautiful part, right? Krishna says, I am not conquered by austerities, charity, or knowledge, but I am purchased by pure devotee. So even though Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he becomes controlled by love. Like how Mother Yashoda binds him with a rope, or how he dances with the gopis. And you also know about Krishna Tulabaram, right? It's a beautiful pastime where Krishna was placed on one side of the scale, and Rukmini Devi offers just one tulsi leaf with pure devotion on the other side, and it outweighed everything else. This pastime teaches us that Krishna values pure love and devotion more than gold, jewels, material wealth, etc. Right? Even the smallest offering, which is given with sincere heart, pure love and devotion, Krishna accepts everything. So no other processes can do this. Only bhakti has this. So karmi wants enjoyment in this life or in going to heaven. So they do good pious activities, but it brings them temporary happiness. The result is temporary happiness. But gnanis, what do? They want freedom from suffering, from the material world, and they wanted liberation, but it is difficult. To speculate the knowledge and gain that knowledge is also difficult. Ashtanga yogi, they want mystic powers, but it is difficult and time taking. It is also not suggestible in Kali Yuga, especially. And Bhakti yoga is something which is done with no selfish desires, which pleases Krishna. And the result is you will get Krishna's love and you will go to Vaikuntha planets. But you may wonder, why do we even why do we even need liberation? Why should we try to escape this material world? The answer is simple, right? Because the material world is place of miseries, and it is also temporary in nature. So why is it misery? So no matter how much we try to enjoy or make things perfect in this world, there is always some suffering. Health issues, financial problems, emotional pain, relationship issues, for children, exam stress, something or the other keeps troubling us, right? So it is full of miseries. And even rich people suffer. Even celebrities with name, fame, and luxury, they go through depression, mental health issues, etc. Right? We have seen several in the recent past also. This is exactly what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 8.16. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest planet, all are places of misery, where repeated birth and death takes place based upon the karma and also based upon the desires. So this means even if we go to heavenly planets like Indraloka, Swargaloka, there is still suffering because birth, disease, old age, and death, they are still there in the higher planets. But only difference is they stay longer than the Earth. The lifetime is longer in higher planets. So you all know, right? There are 14 planetary systems. There are higher planetary systems, seven lower planetary systems. So higher planetary systems start from Bhuloka, Earth. Bhuvar, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satyaloka. These are the five planetary systems. And the topmost is Satyaloka. In the higher planetary systems, the bottom is Bhuloka and the topmost is Satyaloka. Satyaloka is the abode of Lord Brahma. This is the highest material planet, and as we discussed, 311 trillion years Brahma's lifetime is. It is such a long lifetime, and there are lower planetary systems where suffering and ignorance is there. Based upon our activities, we will be sent to lower planetary systems also. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala Lokas. So these are all lower planetary systems. But everything is temporary. Our body, relationships, homes, jobs, even our own lifespan within this body is limited, temporary. A person can be on top today and lose everything tomorrow. That happens very frequently, right? That's the reality. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 8.15, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this world, temporary world, because it is full of miseries, and they also had that highest perfection by attaining me, so they don't return again to material world which is full of miseries. So those who perform bhakti yoga, devotional service to Krishna, don't come back to this material miserable temporary world. Instead they go to Krishna's eternal spiritual world, which is known as Goloka Vrindavana or Vaikuntha planets, where life is full of bliss, knowledge, and eternity. So let us say your house is, you are in a burning house. The house is burning and you are inside. Would you decorate the walls and feel proud of your sofa set, etc.? Or you want to get out of the fire? What do you do?
Get out of the fire.
Get out of
Get
the
out
fire.
of the fire.
Yeah, similarly, this material world is on fire with suffering. So this full of suffering, we are inside that suffering. Do we want to get out of it, or we wanted to enjoy here itself? Our main business should be to get out of
Get
it,
out
right?
of
Not, yeah, not to decorate our temporary life. And how do we get out?
by chanting Krishna's name.
Yeah, through bhakti,
Do
through
bhakti.
devotional service.
Mm,
Absolutely.
mm.
So Krishna has given us the best path, bhakti. When we follow devotional service sincerely, Krishna personally lifts us out of this miserable material world and he takes us to Vaikuntha planets. So, but you may wonder, we all get this question, right? Why Krishna created such a place? All of us have this question, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, if Krishna is so merciful and loving, then why did he create this material world, which is full of misery, suffering, and death? So let us understand this from the point of view of Krishna's divine purpose and our free will. So why did Krishna create this material world? There are two main reasons. One is punishment, another is purification. So just like the government creates prisons, right? Krishna creates this material world. Why, if a prisoner in the material world, there is a prison, and the prisoner asks, why did government create these prisons? Does it make any sense? Because he has done bad things, he has to be punished. Otherwise, he will create problems for others. He will hurt other people, etc. So the same way, the government doesn't want people to go into jail, but it is necessary for them who break the laws, who creates chaos, who creates problems for others. Similarly, Krishna doesn't want us to suffer, but when we misuse our freedom and desire to enjoy separately from him, then the material world acts like a prison house. So criminal elements in society makes the authorities to create the prisons, right? The criminal elements who do bad activities, they themselves are asking, we need punishment, we need prisons. Then in the same way, rebellious souls who turn away from Krishna, they force Krishna to create this separate place called material world. So this world is designed to give the soul the results of their past actions, past karmas. If someone commits sinful activities, they face suffering. If someone acts piously, they enjoy. But even that is temporary. It's like correctional punishment. It is just to teach us the lessons. And also purification. Most importantly, this world is also meant for purifying the soul. Krishna wants us to realize our mistake, become humble, and go back to Him. So that's why Krishna comes here, speaks Bhagavad Gita, and sends his devotees to guide us and help us to go out of this prison house. So that we should understand. So even though this world is full of suffering, it actually shows Krishna's mercy. He gives us chance after chance to reform ourselves. Even in prison, Krishna is always within us as Paramatma. Within our hearts, Paramatma is always accompanying us. He patiently he's waiting for us to turn back to him. He's waiting always that when will this particular soul comes back to me. So this material world is like a school and a prison for both discipline and also purification. So the moment we say, Krishna, I surrender to you, he immediately begins the process of taking us back to eternal abode. So that's what we need to surrender. Surrenderance is very much important. And let us understand what is the punishment. So now that we are saying we are sent to material world for punishment and purification. So what is that punishment and who is the jailkeeper? So now let's understand what is the punishment in this prison. The punishment is the four main punishments of this material world. What are the four main miseries? We have been talking a lot even today also.
Janma
But
Mrityu Jara Vyadhi.
absolutely. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Birth, death, old age, and disease. So these are inescapable miseries for anybody that every soul in the material world must go through. So whether rich or poor, king or beggar, no matter. Everybody has to go through birth, death, old age, and disease. But sometimes we think it is joyful, right? We celebrate if somebody is born, because the kids look very cute and the soul covering is very less, they look very innocent, but the pain that they undergo is immense. In the womb, in the mother's womb, the soul suffers a lot. So there is the in the womb, the soul is the baby is surrounded by pus and blood, everything. There is nothing to move. It is very dark, and 9 months that soul has to stay in that position. It's a lot of suffering. We think that it is a joyful experience, but lot of suffering, and the soul prays a lot to the Lord and tells Lord, gives promise that I want to come back to you. I will do devotional service and soon I will return to you, etc. But as soon as he is out of the womb, he will forget everything. So birth is such a painful experience. Death is also the most painful experience. The soul is forcibly dragged out of the body, and if somebody is not Krishna conscious, it is always fearful and confusing time. And old age, even the strongest people, most beautiful people, they become weak and they get wrinkles on the body and they become dependent and mind becomes dull. The memory fades. You'll not remember anything. So old age is also is a painful experience. And diseases, everyone, no matter how careful you are, eventually faces some physical suffering. Even doctors fall sick. Even spiritual people get sick because his body is temporary and full of faults. So these are Krishna's reminders. So these four punishments are Krishna's reminders. This is not your real home. Don't try to enjoy here. Come back to me. So that is what we remember. But who is the jailkeeper? Just like every prison has a jailkeeper, right? In this material world, who is the jailkeeper?
Mahakali, Kali,
Goddess
Mahamaya.
Durga. Yeah, Goddess
Yeah.
Durga. So Durga Devi is the external energy of Krishna, and she is the in charge of keeping the jivas bound in the material world. That's why she is shown with weapons. She's not just motherly, but she also punishes the rebellious souls. Prabhupada also explains that Durga Devi's job is to reform us through punishment. So we eventually surrender to Krishna. So she works under Krishna's direction. The material nature is working under my direction. Krishna only told this, and is producing all moving and non-moving beings, but it works under my direction. So it is not that Durga Devi is against us. She's actually helping us to return to Krishna. So now we'll discuss what's the first thing that happens to a soul when it enters this material prison. So usually in jails, somebody is sent to a prison. They will be given new clothes, right? The clothes, there's a uniform for prisoners also. You might have seen in serials and movies. May not be real, but you have noticed it, right? There will be a uniform given. Yes or no?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Yes.
the soul, as soon as the soul enters the material world, they are given clothes. The soul is forced to change the clothes. That is, to accept a material body is changing the clothes only. So what does change of clothes mean? Krishna tells in second chapter also, as a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless bodies. So the soul is spiritual, but when it rebels against Krishna, it has to enter to the material world, and they have to wear a bodily costume, just like prisoners wear the uniforms, right? So same way we will also take the bodies. What kind of costumes we wear, how many costumes are there is given here. According to Padma Purana, material nature offers the soul 84 lakh costumes. That means 84 lakh species are there, 84 types of bodies are there. Depending on our karma and our desire, we will take those costumes. So these bodies are like different prison cells. So everybody in maybe in one prison cell they wear white, one prison cell they wear black, yellow, etc. Right? The same way there are 84 lakh prison cells within material world, and every cell has its own rules and suffering. If you are in animal body, you'll suffer differently. You are in aquatics body, you'll suffer differently, etc. Right? So the numbers also given here. Out of 84 lakh species or the costumes that we have, 9 lakh are aquatics, fish, whales, etc. Those who live in water, and 20 lakh are non-moving living entities, trees, plants, mountains, etc. And 11 lakhs are insects and reptiles, and 10 lakhs are birds, 30 lakh animals, quadrupeds like cows, lions, four-legged animals, and 4 lakhs out of 84 lakhs. So you look at the portion of it, 4 lakh only are the humans and demigods, earthly humans like us, and demigods like Devi Devatas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, and Siddhas, Charanas, and Asuras. All together, only 4 lakh people are there. 4 lakh types are there. Overall, it is 84 lakh total species. That means we have 84 lakh different costumes are there as soon as we enter the present cell of material world. So we can see human life is very rare. Only 4 lakh species out of 84. And among them also, even fewer are spiritually inclined. Even out of that 4 lakh, how many are spiritually inclined is important. Human beings like us are just a fraction of the 4 lakh. The other fraction is the others are demigods and dakshas, kinnaras, etc. Right? So such a rare body that we have got, and it is for self-realization. If we don't utilize this body, we don't know what kind of body that we will take in our next life. So why do we go through all these bodies? Because of our karma and desires. Material nature places us in a body that matches our consciousness. If someone acts like an animal, they may get an animal body in the next life. If someone cultivates Krishna consciousness, they can escape this cycle altogether. They can go back to spiritual worlds. Who becomes what? Maybe we can just take a few examples. It's not to scare you, but just for awareness. Who are excessive eaters? Who indulge in excessive eating, excessive sleeping, excessive mating, excessive defending, and they also are they do a lot of sense gratification, especially they without any spiritual activity, without God consciousness, and they don't believe in dharmic values and no morals, no values, nothing to follow, etc. They living like animals even in human body, uh, only seeking bodily pleasures. They become pigs in next life. In Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna mentions this. Those situated in the mode of ignorance go down to hellish worlds. So Krishna also mentions this. Who becomes a dog? Who is very greedy, who is very aggressive, and who is addicted to meat eating and constantly angry and always fighting or barking at others and involved in criminal activities and harming other people and leading lusty or prostitute like lifestyle. They become dogs in next life. And who becomes snakes? Extremely envious and jealous, and always plotting against others, harming others, and engaging in backbiting or insulting great people, saintly people. They become snakes. And those who lead a life of service, tolerance, there are very good people, right? But they don't believe in God, but they do all good activities, and they're very simple and pure heart, but there is no connection with Krishna. So those kind of people, they are very pious people, but they become cows or bulls, something like that. So if you are not God conscious in this life, your next life may or may not be humans. So the first thing that happens in this prison of material world is that we have given a material body. We will be given a material body, just like a prisoner gets uniform. And this can be anything out of these 84 lakh species based upon our karma and desires. And only a human life we get a chance to ask that consciousness will be there. Who am I? Why am I here? How do I get out of it? Why am I suffering, etc.? All these questions humans only will get, and humans only will understand. Out of 84 lakh species, only 4 lakh species will understand this. Others will not be able to understand. So by taking to Bhakti Yoga, chanting Krishna's name, we will be able to return to our original home, Vaikunta. And we have been talking about how the material world is like a prison, but someone may ask, where are the walls? How are we even bound? The prison is subtle, not made of bricks and bars like a physical prison, but modes of nature. We discussed about three gunas, right? Modes of material nature: sattva, rajo, tamo gunas. Sattva is mode of goodness, raja is mode of passion, tama is mode of ignorance. So just like in this image, prisoners wear chains on their legs, right, in physical material world, but we are also chained by invisible ropes. You look at the ropes, right? The three gunas are controlling us like puppets. So sattva guna is those who have knowledge and those who are in peace, those who have cleanliness, they are in sattva guna. Guna is they are attached, they have attachment to material things, and they have ambitions, and they are always restless. They want to achieve something or the other. And tamoguna is people who are very lazy and they are always in illusion. They do daydreaming and they are mad. They have madness. Those are all tamoguna. But usually, right, we all have mix of gunas. Sometimes we will be in sattva guna, sometimes we will be in rajoguna, sometimes we will be in tamoguna. But we have to come out of all these gunas by taking bhakti yoga path. So what do these modes do? These modes act like puppet strings. If you look at that picture, so we may think we are free, but actually we are dancing to the tunes of the modes of nature. Krishna says in 3.27 also, the spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego thinks himself as the doer of activities. But actual reality is the three modes are doing those activities. Uh, People who are fighting with each other there, they may think they are fighting with each other, but the modes are controlling them. They are the doers. Material nature is pulling the strings. And how do we come out of it? We can control this. We can come out of these three modes only through bhakti yoga. So now that we have been seeing about material world, and let us see what is the nature of spiritual world. Spiritual world is eternal. There is no destruction there. Unlike the material world, which is temporary, the spiritual world is nitya, permanent. So there is no darkness. It is always there, self luminous. There is no sun and moon required there. It is self luminous, and it is always existing. It is nitya, permanent and infallible. Nothing deteriorates there. No mistakes, no failures, no suffering. Like in material world, it is exactly opposite in spiritual world. Everyone there is in their perfect original position, and they will not fall down. Unlimited bliss. Here, happiness is temporary and mixed with pain in material world, but in spiritual world, every step is a dance, every word is a song, every act is full of bliss and love for Krishna. So you will not even being in the material world, we can't even imagine about it unless we are taken to bhakti yoga and we listen from devotees. We hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and it also fulfills all desires. Whatever pure spiritual desire we have, it is fully satisfied in our relationship with Krishna in the spiritual world. And Krishna is all attractive. The center of the spiritual world is Krishna, who is all attractive. Sarva Karana Karanam. So in Brahma Samhita it is said, right? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So it is Brahma himself is glorifying Lord Krishna. He is the cause of all causes, and everyone is absorbed in serving Krishna with love. If you look at the picture also, everybody, all gopas are enjoying with Krishna, and that service is ever fresh in spiritual world. And spiritual world is unmanifested and is also transcendental. So this world cannot be seen by material eyes. Like we discussed about looking at 3D pictures only, we need 3D glasses. And in material itself, we can't see certain things. And we, without bhakti, we will not be able to see spiritual world, and we cannot even imagine. So we need to have spiritual eyes. That spiritual eyes will be developed only through bhakti, because spiritual world is beyond time, beyond space, and beyond material laws. And we got used to understanding only material nature, time, space, and material laws. So we need to transcend, we need to come out of it, we need to take to bhakti path and develop the spiritual vision to understand it fully. And it is a supreme destination. Krishna himself says, this is our original home, and that is the supreme destination. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by the fire or electricity. Those who reach there never return back to material world. Krishna says himself, and a place of no return. Once we go there, we don't come back. No more birth, death, old age, disease. We will not be suffering anymore, and no more karma, no more suffering, just eternal bliss, happiness, and loving service to Krishna. So, why should we aspire for it? Because we belong there. Just like fish cannot be happy on land, right? The soul can never be happy in this material world. How much ever you try, you will never be permanently happy. You may be happy for a temporary period of time, but you cannot be happy because you don't belong here. We belong to spiritual world. That's why we need to aspire for going back. And because our nature is Sachidananda, like Krishna is Sachidananda, we are also Sachidananda, full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, and that is available only in the spiritual world, and we are searching for something which is not available in material world. How to reach there? That is the last question. How do we go there?
Through bhakti.
Through bhakti. Absolutely. So Krishna talks about how to attain supreme in 23 to 28. This is the last verse. We will conclude with this. And Krishna explains here that yogis who are engaged in meditational processes like Ashtanga yoga, they leave their body, like we discussed, right? They wait for Uttarayana, they wait for daytime, and then they will merge into Brahman. If they leave during darkness, Dakshinayana, they come back again and again. So such yogis depend on time and cosmic factors to get liberation. Is this practical today's age? No, right? That is not practical. And for if you look at bhakti yogis, bhaktas are beyond these rules. The devotees who are fixed in devotional service, they don't need to worry about what time I'm leaving the body, what time I'm going to die. Is it night or day? Is it auspicious or inauspicious? Is it right planet or yoga? Am I in a right yoga posture, etc.? They don't need to worry about it. Krishna personally takes care of his devotees, whether they die in Dakshinayana during night time, during inauspicious time. If they die, they then also they'll reach Krishna because Krishna takes care of them. Krishna concludes beautifully, whatever results are gained from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, austerities, charity, the devotee need not do anything else if they are engaged in my devotional service. That means you don't need to do thousands of rituals, and you don't need to study complex scriptures like Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, etc. You can just read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, understand them, do Bhakti Yoga. That is good enough for you to reach to spiritual planets. So in this age of Kali, Krishna made the process very simple and very sweet. No complicated yoga systems. No need to worry about astrology or time of death. Just devotion from the heart. And Srila Prabhupada also emphasizes every time, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This ends the 8th chapter. So next week, what is there for next week? Let us see. So next week we'll discuss about the most confidential knowledge. So chapter 9 in Bhagavad Gita, which is called as Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, the most confidential knowledge. This chapter is very special because Krishna reveals his heart to his devotees. So we will discuss next week. Stay tuned. Don't miss any of the sessions. This Bhakti Yoga is the essence of all the yogas within Bhagavad Gita. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments?
Mataji, it's silly question only. The completion of this course, can we get a certificate, Mataji?
Yes, yes. Yes, Mataji, definitely.
Yes. It's not very important. The listening is really great. We are blessed
Yeah,
to
you will
have these
definitely get the
classes.
certificate, Mataji. We will have a get together also one day, and we will all meet, and you can personally come and take your certificate. And if anybody, for any reason, for some reason they are not able to come, we can also see if we can arrange any online. But that is for exceptional cases. We'll discuss on that.
From where, Mataji? This is connected
Habit,
to which
ISKCON habits,
habits?
Mataji. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's habits. Okay. Fine,
Mataji,
Mataji.
I asked you this, but can we get the PPTs?
PPTs they asked me to share only for preachers, Mataji.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Next time when I'll go to Abbots, I'll buy a big Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I have a small one,
Hmm.
but I will buy when next time I will meet,
Yeah, yeah, sure,
I
Mataji, definitely. Hari bol. And if you, until that time, if nobody, I have sent you the Veda based link. You can study from there also online. If you don't have your copy right now with you, if you want to buy in future, you can just refer to the Veda base. It has everything.
Acha,
Every
have you
chapter is
sent
on.
it? I mean, in the group you have sent Mataji?
Yes, yes, I've sent in the quizzes, right? I've sent you that link, but I can share it again. Today I
Oh,
will share.
sure, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Okay, I think I'm sorry we are getting delayed, but I don't want to miss any of the topics. And I wanted to give you more examples, so we had ran over 15 minutes.
No
Please
problem, ma'am.
excuse me for that.
Not at all. It was really useful information, at least in this Kalinga.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भागवत गीता की जय
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
हरे
Krishna
कृष्णा
Mataji, Dandavat Pranamas. Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna
much.
Mataji, thank you.
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम